Now, let's see some of the other security projects that are used for analyzing vulnerabilities in Kubernetes. So in this lesson, we'll review some different security projects that can help us both to secure Kubernetes cluster and that will also offer the best possible performance for our infrastructure. And the first one is called KubeHunter. You can find the complete code on github.com, KubeHunter, and it basically represents a security framework that is taking into account that Kubernetes clusters are mounted on a set of nodes or services in which at least one has to take role as a master, and the rest of those nodes are workers and they have visibility of each other in order to communicate. So the KubeHunter is a Python script that is developed to analyze the potential vulnerabilities in the Kubernetes cluster. As most of the other tools, this tool relies on known attack vectors and information about the attack surface, so it allows you to perform security vulnerability analysis of your Kubernetes installation. It also allows both remote, internal, or CIDR scanning over Kubernetes cluster, and it can be run locally or through the deployment of a container that is already prepared. So in order to install KubeHunter in your device, you can simply do pipe install KubeHunter. Okay, so hit that, and you can see that for me the requirements are already satisfied, but for you, you will get some sort of installation since you don't have KubeHunter already installed. So this is how you can install it, and then you can simply follow the instructions on the Git repository. Now, another quite useful tool is called Kubesec, and Kubesec allows you to analyze the security risks for Kubernetes resources. It will help you to quantify the risk for the Kubernetes resources. It always runs against your active Kubernetes application for all the deployments and pods, and also you have a specific plugin if you want to run it from the command line with the kubectl. So some of the main kubectl tools that you can use actually directly from the command line is firstly the kubectl trace that you can find it in this link here, and this tool will create control points in order to detect problems and make in-depth analysis of your Kubernetes infrastructure. Another quite popular tool is the kubectl debug, which is a plugin that actually can be perfectly combined with the kubectl trace, and it's used for debugging tasks. It allows you to execute a container within a pod that is running. It normally shares the namespace of the processes, network, user, and pretty much everything related to the container, and that information can all be analyzed and debugged. Another quite an interesting tool, which you can also find and download from GitHub, is the ksniff tool. This lets you to analyze all the network traffic of Kubernetes pod using the TCP dump from Wireshark. If you haven't worked with Wireshark, this is a tool that allows you to explore the traffic of any type of application and showing you the TCP, SMTP protocols, pretty much everything on your network, and you can apply that to Kubernetes too. So the ksniff uses the data collected from the TCP dump associated with a pod and then sends it to Wireshark to perform analysis. This plugin is essential if you're working with microservices, since it is very useful for identifying errors and problems between them and their dependencies. Then you have the kubectl dig, which is another plugin for the kubectl, and sometimes getting information from Kubernetes cluster requires the use of several commands, which in turn returns all kinds of information. So this plugin has quite nice user-friendly interface from where you can easily see the information related with the Kubernetes cluster. So let's actually look on one of the most used security tools for Kubernetes, and this is the Kubestriker. So this tool is created to tackle the key Kubernetes security issues due to misconfigurations, and really helps you to straighten the overall IT infrastructure of any organization. So it performs in-depth check on a range of services and can be used on either self-hosted Kubernetes on Amazon, Azure, or Google Cloud. It will pretty much identify any miscellaneous attacks and make it easy for the organization to identify them. So it would really help you to straighten over potential attacks, whether you're using Google Cloud, AWS, or Azure, and it will provide you with very nice visualizations and prevent the hackers to advance their attacks. So let's see how you can actually install and use this tool in your device. So let's open a few terminals, and I want you to run Kubernetes cluster and Docker as well. So let's run minikube start, and actually before that let's run Docker. Okay, so once you have the Docker up and running in your device, let's wait a couple of minutes. Okay, and then run the minikube. Then I'll open another window. And so once this is installed, let's run the minikube dashboard. So write minikube dashboard, that's it. Okay, so once you make sure that you have all that, then you can install the Kubesec. So in order to install it, you need to run this command. I'll provide this for you. The only difference from my installation will be that you actually need to specify your path here to your username. Okay, this will pretty much show where you want to save your installation, and it creates a volume. You don't need to use specifically the directory that has your name on it. You can use any, but please make sure that you keep the lines that are after that. Okay, so let's hit enter here. Okay, and you can see that immediately you started the Kubesec right here. And if I check in Docker, you have Kubesec installed container that is up and running. So then run python -m Kubesec, and this will actually start the Kubesec engine, as you can see. So from here you can choose different options. So you can choose URL, IP, config file, or IP range. So let's choose IP, and so the tool will ask you to provide an IP here. You can do that by opening another terminal and simply writing kubectl get pod -o white. Okay, and this will show all the pods that are currently running, and you can see their IPs from here. Okay, so I'll copy one IP and I'll paste it here. Okay, and now you can see that our vulnerability checks will start. So we're performing service discovery, we're scanning the Kubernetes cluster and the services, and you can see we're scanning the etcd clients, the kubeproxy, and so on. So this tool will pretty much automatically perform a good check of your Kubernetes services, and then it will send all of your results in a target file. So this file will normally be saved in the same directory in which you open the application. So in my case, this will be saved on the desktop. So now from the other terminal, if I go to the desktop and do ls, you see that we're actually having a file that is with the same IP address and it's txt. Okay, so you can go to your desktop and just open that file, and from there you can check if you found any endpoints into this IP. Since this IP that I used doesn't have any endpoints, your file will simply show the scanning, and below you will see nothing because you don't currently have endpoints to this IP. Okay, so make sure that you explore also the rest of the options of this tool, because it's really amazing. And if you need an IP, you already saw how you can get one, and explore the different commands. So that will be everything for that video, guys. Thank you very much for watching, and in the next one we will talk about how you can analyze the Kubernetes vulnerabilities.